247. For you guys as an offense, how have you seen the progression overall from last season, spring, to now as you get ready for the first game?
Obviously, Coach Hartson kind of has gotten the offense kind of rallied up. He's been kind of implementing his own stuff into it. We've gotten really close just from spring, even going through summer practices and all that stuff, and then now going through fall camp. It's pretty much just perfecting everything, perfecting our craft, executing. He tries to make it very simple for us, just so we can go out there, execute it, and then make those explosive plays. So I think that's just been a big part, just him being there with the offense. So
we heard TJ said, look, being in the second year has been a big benefit to him. Has it been that way across the board for you guys as an offense?
Yeah, I think so. Just from last year's stuff carrying over so well, I think that's just gained our confidence. And so, yeah, pretty much, I guess now it feels a lot more simple. So I guess that kind of brings it back to it. So, yeah, absolutely.
Jason mentioned that he trusts TJ Family. Obviously, he's an offensive guy. What have you seen as an offensive player to make you trust and buy in what Finley's got going on?
Well, I mean, he's been working incredibly hard. He's been buying into, being close with other guys too, or other guys in the offense. He's really dedicated to this offense. He's been a great leader for us, and so I think it's been a big part of going from last year to this year.
Tyler, Philip Marshall, Auburn 247. How difficult was it to swallow last season the way it ended down the stretch? And what do you as a player do to put that behind you and move on?
I think Simp kind of killed that one. Just being, if you look at most of those games, last 6 games, whatever it was, we were right there. We were just so close pretty much every single time. Finished off the Alabama game too. Just knowing that you're that close to it, and just fixing up those small mistakes, playing a little bit harder, all these things. I think it just brings our confidence up of what our team can really do. And so throughout this off season, we've just been working to bring up that culture too, getting close, being able to work together. So I think it's been a big part of how it's going into this season.
You mentioned leadership from TJ.
Yeah.
In your own house, you know what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen him become more of that guy that you saw, like from your brother and from other guys you've seen in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially just even from my twin brother, just being around quarterbacks and their leadership. He's been. I mean, I've gotten really close to TJ too. I've seen a lot of similar things to him. But yeah, their styles. I guess being a quarterback is always a little bit different. But I really like TJ's style. I like the way he's approaching practices, meetings, all these things. So even I guess all the practices too. But yeah, it's been good. But with his leadership.
Mark Murphy from Inside the Auburn Tigers. Considering where you're from, do you know many of the Mercer players, and what would it mean to Mercer to come in here and play good, pull off upset?
I'll tell you, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much like a hometown team almost. Twin brother played there. He just stopped playing this past year. But yeah, no, I've gotten. My brother still lives with 2 of the guys on the team. I've gotten, just from him being there, I've gotten close with a bunch of guys. And they're a really good football team. They're rallied up this year. They're fired up, especially with a D1 FCS school like them. They're going to be excited. I guess now the second game, they're going to be excited coming into a place like Auburn, huge stadium. Just watching them from playing Alabama last year, they're not going to back down. They're going to fight. Even this year, you can just tell from last week, their attitude, their grit. They're going to play hard. They're going to come in here and try to beat us. So, it's going to be good to play them.
What kind of things have you shared with some of the younger guys who haven't experienced the Tiger Walk or haven't experienced game day? What kind of things you talk to them about those experiences?
It's kind of crazy being here for 4 years now, experiencing it. It's always surreal. Kind of just talking to them, just soak it all in, because it doesn't really feel like I've been here 4 years. But yeah, just soak it all in. It's a wonderful experience. I think Sim talked about that home field advantage. That's just gonna be. I guess I don't know how many times we started out 5 games in a row at home, but yeah, I mean, just taking it all in, taking it for what it is. Be excited for it.
Tyler, Jeff Shear from AuburnTigers.com. What do you want the identity of the
Consistency, leadership. We kind of want to be that group that the team can always rely on. That's what our position coach always harps on us. Even in this tough fall camp practices, we want to be the group to bring other guys up. So we just kind of want to be that that group that other guys can lean on.
TomRadio.com. Coach Harshman was saying earlier today that he expects to see the best version of Tank Bigsby this season. Just from what you've seen in practice the last few weeks and through the offseason, what does that look like?
Well, I mean, we kind of saw him coming in as a freshman and making huge plays. He was very explosive. This offseason he's definitely gotten a lot better. He practices very hard. So I think that you're just gonna see a bunch of explosive plays from Tank. It's gonna be fun to watch him. Just because going through practices, the runs that that may get blown dead early in practice. He may break off for a 7-yard touchdown. It's just obviously can't tackle all the time. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
What's Keyshawn like as a play caller?
Let's see. Let's try to answer that. We're as an offense. He's very strategic with. We've been kind of big on situations. This past month. So really just maximizing each situation, finding different plays that we can call. We're going to be moving around a lot. We're going to be trying to run the ball, trying to throw the ball. But yeah, Coach Keyshaw is going to be pretty solid. I guess he was the OC at Boise State too. So obviously Harson's comfortable with him calling plays. So it should be pretty fun this year.
And then overall as a coordinator, what have you got to learn? Because obviously you worked with him a little bit last year, but
Yeah.
with a coordinator, what have you seen with him?
As a coordinator, he comes in here. He obviously expects a lot out of us. He's been a great leader for the offense. Let's see. We kind of got close with Coach Keyshaw last year. As a receivers coach as well. So it's just really that relationship, that coach-player relationship. We've been able to build that. So that's kind of what I appreciate the most about Coach Keyshaw. Very upfront. He's always trying to come up with new stuff to run against certain defenses. So it's been awesome having Keyshaw.
You mentioned explosive plays a couple of times. Has that been a point of emphasis for the offense, knowing how important those are in the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's those big runs by Tank or throwing it deep. We want to create a bunch of them throughout the game. So yeah, it'd be good for our offense.